You can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio, and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com. The views, opinions, and representations expressed on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network and its website are those of the hosts, guests, and participants, and are not necessarily those of or endorsed by the network, its affiliated stations and broadcasts, the management, other hosts, or advertisers of the network. The shows found on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network can, but do not necessarily, promote any particular lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only, and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or condition, or give any medical or legal advice.
You're listening to my friend Gary Anderson on Night Dreams Talk Radio, the best in paranormal radio.
Well, John Cleese, I can't say is the best, but we try our best. Hey, we're back on the air after a week being off. We had 2.5 feet of snow here at the compound at the harbor. You know, this time it is like childhood days. I haven't seen snow like this since I was a kid. Now I'm 67, so you can get an idea how many years it's been. Where I live at the compound, maybe like every other year we might get a little bit of snow, maybe like 1 or 2 inches. But 2.5 feet? Well, what did it do? Well, it lost our internet. It lost our satellite backup with a tree falling on the roof. And we still can't get the cars out of our mini farm here because at the compound, we still have almost 2 feet of snow in our driveway. Earth changes. Speaking about earth changes, what really has got me concerned, everybody is so concerned about, well, UFO disclosure or the wall with Trump. But we need to really take a look at what's going on with earth changes. You know, between Antarctica and Greenland, all that stuff, the amount of ice that is melting is going to be outstandingly, it's going to destroy our life as we know it. Not in 40 or 50 or 100 years. Now they're even talking maybe 20 years. Who knows? Maybe it could be 10 years. But the sea level just from Antarctica is going to raise, well, up about 4 feet with the melting. Now you take the other, you're talking about another 4 to 6 feet. Now what's that going to happen? Well, I can tell you what's going to happen if you own beachfront property on the East Coast. Well, buy yourself something you can live on, like a boat or something, because I tell you, you know, Florida, all that stuff is going to be underwater. Now, you can sit there and say, oh, that's not going to happen. Well, you know, we brought all this on ourselves. Yeah, come on. It's time we realize, you know, for the last 100 years, all the pollution we have done, you know, we're paying for it now. Not so much us, our children and their children, your grandkids. we're all going to have to pay the price for what we have done to this planet. You know, like bees, they for years are saying bees were dying off. Well, maybe it's the poisons that you use to insecticides to kill off other bugs. Well, right now, insects are dying off in huge numbers, not just bees. A lot of it, I was reading, is due to the magnetic field is moving faster and faster to the point that they have to constantly now upgrade the GPS systems for the airplanes, for your satellite, for your cell phone on a daily basis. That's how fast it's moving. That is scary. And nobody knows really what's going to happen when it flips. I don't know. The scientists can only speculate. Now, getting into disclosures about UFOs and aliens. I mean, right now, it's a frenzy out there. Everybody trying to write a book, trying to make some money real quick on disclosures because they're so positive the government's going to come out and say, yes, there is UFOs. And yes, we've been, working with them and sharing technology and maybe even sharing human lives for that technology. You think that's going to actually happen anytime soon? I don't think so. But I really do feel that there's a lot of disinformation hitting the internet more than ever because everybody kind of just jumps in like a frenzy. I was talking to a guy here yesterday on the phone that wants to come on the show. He insists that the moon is hollow. It's nothing more than a hollow spear. Well, it reminds me of somebody I talked to. It says that the earth is flat, that there's no proof that the earth is round. Well, I tell you, maybe you don't fly on an airplane very much because if you get up high enough and you look, you can see the curvature of the earth. Now, if it was flat, you wouldn't see that curvature, would you? And you still can't even explain to me how the oceans stay put and not just kind of go off to wherever. So I don't know. There's a lot of whatever out there, disinformation going on big time. Well, I hope everybody is going to have a great weekend. I know I am. I am hosting a couple, not hosting, but board operating a couple shows on our network this weekend. Hey, right after this commercial, we got Alan Wright on. He's going to be talking about his book, Ghost Stories Among Friends. He's going to be talking about ghost stories. He's going to talk about, what it's like to be an empath, a medium, almost all his entire life. He'll be on right after this.
You can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio, and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com.
Well, Alan, how are you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm doing just fine, Gary. How are you doing?
I am doing really good. It feels good to get behind the microphone. For the past week, I have had absolutely no internet. My satellite backup system was crushed when a tree went on the roof, and that took that out, so I couldn't even do the show for the satellite. No TV, and all the movies.
Oh my God!
All the movies that my wife has. I'll be honest with you, I couldn't sit down and watch 5 minutes of them. So I mean, you talk about cabin fever. I mean, it's I think I've read more. Ghost stories and paranormal stories this past week, and I have my whole entire life.
Really? Well, read my book, and then you can read some more.
Oh, yeah. Well, tell the listeners a little bit about yourself there, Alan.
Well, I was born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona. I was born in 1949, so I'm kind of old. I was born with abilities that I inherited from my great-grandmother, my grandmother, and my mother. They were I used to think of my mother as a little gypsy girl because she was small, about 5 foot, and she could tell and sense when things was going to happen to the family, to someone in the family or whatever. And anyway, I inherited those abilities. And as I get older, those abilities became stronger and stronger. I'm now a spiritual medium. I'm an empath, a sensitive. I'm also a healer. I've healed or performed healings on hundreds of people in my lifetime. And so that's about it. we moved up here to Utah now. We live in Utah. Been up here for about 5 years. You were talking about a couple feet of snow on the ground. In the last week and a half, we've had about 1.5 feet here also. So we're supposed to get another storm tonight. So I don't know. I might be sitting there watching the TV when it goes out too.
I don't know. It's really funny, Alan. You know where I live? I live in Gig Harbor, Washington. And last year, it was in March. In the middle of March, for no reason, we had a 91 degree temperature day. Normally, we're like in the 40s. All of a sudden, out of the blue, we hit 91 in March.
Yeah.
Never happens. Never has ever happened. I don't know if it's going to happen again, but it is some strange things going on out there with the weather.
Yeah, as I told you, my abilities are getting stronger and stronger. When I went and saw my grandfather in that astral projection that I was talking about earlier, I was told things and showed things by not only him and my ancestors, but also by, I hate to call them aliens or extraterrestrials, because basically they're just like us, but they don't live on this earth. They're from other worlds. But anyway, I was shown some things, and I was told then that the earth was going to come to an end within my lifetime. And this was back in 1983. I'm 70 years old now. So when you said probably in about 20 years, that's what I'm looking at right now, too. They told me all kinds of things. The melting of the ice of the glaciers and stuff at the poles. They told me that. They told me about the poles flipping. They told me that there's going to be very severe weather patterns, and we're going to get rain and snow in places where it's desert now, and so on and so forth. They also told me that there's going to be public demonstrations, a very severe public demonstrations in all the major cities in the world. They told me so much. Well, when I went on that astral projection, I thought I was only there for 7 or 8 hours, because they brought me back to my bed about the space of 8 hours. But as I got older, I didn't remember everything when I was first brought back. But I was, as I got older, I got little bits and pieces of information and knowledge about what happened on that astral projection. And I think they realized if they fed it to me all at one time back in 1983, I probably wouldn't have believed it. I probably would have thought I was crazy. And it was a good thing that they only gave me a little bit at a time. So I'm glad they did that, because what I just told you, I could not tell. I just could not tell anybody up until now. But I'm getting older now. I'm 70 years old. And I feel like I have to tell about what's going on. We're heading into, I was also told that it's too late now. And this was caused by mankind, what we're going through right now. And it's too late. We can't turn back. All we can do is hold on for the ride, because that's what's going to be like. The earth, being a medium, a spiritual medium like myself, I feel that the veil